Going over to the political part podcast, you have Omar Fateh waving the Somalian flag, speaking a foreign language while playing terrible music as he tries to become mayor of Minneapolis, or as we call it modernly, Little Somalia. This broadcast thanks you and wokeness, and he says, quote, Omar Fateh waves foreign flag, speaks foreign language, pledges his loyalty to Somalia, tells Somalians to elect him. This is a rally in Minneapolis, which, to remind you, is such a weak, conquered, pathetic state. They redesigned their whole flag to look like a butchered flag of Somalia. That's how weak and pathetic and conquered they have become. So he's wearing a suit. He did one thing right, low bar. Then he also has a scarf. I'm sure there's a ceremonial thing around his one shoulder. But perhaps he'll give us some very articulate reasons of why you should have a foreign flag like this. Obviously not, but let's hear what Omar Fateh has to say. We conquered.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Somalia. Somalia. Hiran State. Mawisle. Mawisle. Early voting was hadda illa November 4. I need your vote. I need you. Hadan Udkina, hello. We're gonna win.
Given the demographic shifting of Somalia, Minneapolis, I forget to get too mixed up. There's a high propensity he will win. A lot of people don't realize, there's 60,000 people imported into Minneapolis who are from Somalia. There's quite a few of them over there. And again, why is he waving a foreign country's flag? Again, my family came from Cuba legally, and believe it or not, got here on an aeroplane. One of the last ones when Fidel took over. Didn't swim here, which is good because I can't swim worth a damn. Granted, it's my mom. But yeah, it's an instance where, that was back when Americans assimilated, or immigrants assimilated. We've seen a huge cultural shift, I would argue, the past 30 years especially, in part because the U.S. just seems to give away free handouts to everyone except taxpayers, so it's even more incentive for people to come here. But yeah, back in the day, again, you could debate that they didn't learn. My family learned English exceptionally well. You could maybe joke and think, oh, well, if I speak so poorly. No, but they speak great and articulate perfectly. It's quite impressive. Me, I can't speak too well. That's why I always tell you, click that subscribe button. When I first started the show, barely anyone had tuned in. Maybe like 2 or 3 family members. I had 2 subscribers. And I spoke faster than Ben Shapiro and more awkwardly than Joe Biden trying to climb upstairs. And starting worse than him. But as I slowly but surely gain subscribers, I've been slightly better at speaking. Some might say I still am terrible, though I would argue, statistically speaking, slightly better at speaking because I got more subscribers. Feeling to my theory, more people click that button, the better I'll get at speaking. Someday make it through entire episodes speaking perfectly and articulately. Then click that button, tell your friends and enemies. I greatly appreciate it. Your enemies might be so enamored and impressed by your choice in podcast material that they then become your friends. Or they find me so visually and visceral disgusting that they hate you even more and it becomes a physical altercation if you suggest the material to them, so maybe you shouldn't. Although it would make for an interesting story, though legally I maybe don't recommend it. In all seriousness, it makes for a funny story. Why the hell not? But it's an instance where no one in my family waves the Cuban flag. It's a weak, conquered, pathetic, terrible country. Fidel destroyed it. Communism destroyed it. It's disgusting. That's why we wave the American flag. Or if you're like me, also the Texas flag, because Texas is awesome. It's an instance where we assimilated. We believe in what the founding fathers' ideals were. I gotta think most people who come to the country, and even most Americans these days, can't even espouse the ideals of the founding fathers, which again was a bedrock, the foundation that built the greatest country on the planet. And he has a Somalian flag. You have Somalian people in D.C. saying, oh yeah, I forget her name. It wasn't the gal that married her brother, but there's another Somalian where they said, oh yeah, we're going to help our homies out back in Somalia. I don't think they used the word homies. I think that was used mainly in the 90s. But nevertheless, why are you pledging allegiance to another country? I don't think any politician, left or right, should be able to have dual citizenship as well. Debatably another topic for another day, perhaps. But again, he's speaking a foreign language, and he's waving a foreign flag. And call me crazy, but is that flag in the background bigger than the American flag? They're just importing voters. And is this going to make Minneapolis better? No, obviously not. And I think that's one of the reasons it's been viral. I got 8.7 million views as well as 61,000 likes. One of the first comments comes to us thanks to X Van Fleet, is a famous individual who escaped communism China. He says, quote, this should disqualify him immediately, getting 793 likes. I agree. The Conservative Alternative says, quote, remember when all of our politicians claimed we were fighting them over there so we don't have to fight them over here? I guess it was just one big lie, huh? He has a picture of I forget the meme of the guy, but it says the Gulf Wars, we're fighting them over there so we don't have to fight them here. He has Zoran and Omar pictured there, getting 927 likes. Arthur Eagleman says, quote, he should be deported, getting 2.1 thousand likes. Valentina Gomez says, quote, these Muslims will rape us into submission. It's exactly what's coming to Texas, getting 1.4 thousand likes. She got 65 comments. Was she affirmed or ratioed? No, pretty much everyone is agreeing with her. Let's see here. But again, she's running for political office in Texas. She never actually breaks down how she would do that, legally speaking. Again, I think Sharia law is an antithesis of the founding fathers stood for. I do wonder, though, again, if they come here legally, which again, some of them are coming here legally through the immigration process, and they're getting their citizenship. If you have that, I mean, you can't really deport them. So she's very bombastic in her statement. She's getting a lot of support, and I agree in that I don't think Sharia law should be nowhere near the United States. But what legal mechanism or what action? That's one of the reasons I like Vivek. He always gives you a plan of his ideas of how they would get accomplished. Her, not so much yet. David Santa Clara says, quote, why is this person in my country getting 721 likes? Which, I don't know. Did you hear it with a southern accent? I'm from Texas. Maybe it's just the default. But he's like, well, why is this person in my country getting 721 likes? Not me, but Gunther Eagleman. Amelia Henderson simply says, just send him back. And she has a picture that says, is it too soon, or can we start talking about deporting Obama's Somalians, getting 967 likes? Amelia Henderson also says, Islam is not compatible. She has a screenshot of a quote from Charlie Kirk, who says, quote, Islam is not compatible with Western civilization. And Charlie Kirk got 67 million views for that tweet on June 1st, 2025. He got 568 likes. Like a good stock. Paul Zazupa says, quote, Minneapolis is a preview of what New York City will become, getting 397 likes, which not the New York City one is actually before that, but nevertheless, I understand what his point is. Thick Eggshell says people who don't show allegiance only to America shouldn't be allowed in politics. 13 likes, including one from me. Spitfire says, quote, I just don't know what to say anymore, getting 419. Let's make it 420 likes. 26 likes, going up like a stock. Which, yeah. Liberty Pill Memes says, it's fine. You have a little dog from the May, and the dog is labeled Minneapolis. Says, this is fine. It's okay. But it's, not so much. Going down more and more. You have MAGA Kitty saying, deport, getting 37 likes. Trump Tracker, finally, and again, I follow him because I want some contrarian statements. Life gets a little bit boring after echo chamber. And he says, quote, cope, you can leave whenever you want, getting 107 likes. One of the first comments comes to us thanks to Outdoor Wisconsin, which unfortunately he did not get ratioed by number of likes. And cover your ears if you're unsure of listening, because I'm going to read the meme or meme as is from Smokey the Bear, since I think I could do a moderately good Smokey the Bear impression. But I'll let you be the judge, of course. He says, remember, only you can go fuck yourself. Which, I mean, that might, that's better than my Mel Gibson impression, but that bar is pretty damn low. You also have Let's Be Friends, the picture of a toad, or frog, He says, quote, why do you want some foreign dipshit who literally waves a foreign flag in your face to have power over here? Leftists are functionally retarded. Getting 48 likes, which, yeah, fact check community knows true. Going back to the main comments section, Libercat Media TM says, quote, oh, who else is fed up with seeing foreigners who hate America try to turn America into the very shitholes they fled? Go on, Minneapolis, like this piece of shit. Don't come here crying for help when you're sinking, because you won't get any closer than the middle finger from us, getting 187 likes. Well, the issue is, they're just going to keep importing more. Again, they're importing them, especially into New York City and Minneapolis. But it's happening all over the U.S. Eventually, there'll be nowhere else left to run. That's why I'm always very skeptical when someone says, why do you care what happens in California, or some people call it California? Well, one, it's one of the largest selling markets on the planet. It has great influence on products and policies in a myriad of industries. But it's because, again, a lot of politics, political philosophies that are implemented in the European Union, then they spread like a virus to California, then usually to Illinois and New York. It kind of just spreads across the U.S. thanks to, I would argue, corrupt and or moronic or stupid rhinos, pejoratively known as Republicans in name only, who say, oh yeah, we'll do that for you Democrats. We'll keep giving you stuff. and will do something for our constituents someday, in theory. Also have mirthful moments. It's a picture of Elon Omar. Interesting enough, not a picture with her husband and her brother. She says, I guess a made-up meme, says, "In my country, I am forced to keep my mouth shut. But here, I am free to talk trash about this country in hopes that I can change it to a country where I'm forced to keep my mouth shut." Getting 2.9 thousand likes. Now, let's see here. Here's the original beautiful flag of Minnesota. Justin Grage says, "We're taking it back." Getting 1.1 thousand likes. Yeah, I'm sure if Trump were to look at these flags, he'd say, "God, the new flag of Somalia. I mean, Minneapolis, it's hard to tell the difference. They look so similar. I mean, the flag of Somalia, flag of Minneapolis, I'm sorry, Minnesota. The new one looks so terrible. Tim Walz is a moron. He had it in his background in so many of his videos. It looks so stupid and large. Look at this, the old flag was so much better. It was ornate. It was beautiful. It was a work of art. But now, a weak, pathetic, conquered Minneapolis and Minnesota has become pathetic with a new flag as boring and lame, as stupid as Tim Walz." I mean, I don't think Trump says that precisely, but probably something to that effect. And again, the original flag was a work of art. The new one is, I mean, it looks like a kid did it looks like someone took a flag from Somalia, put in the photocopier a couple times, and got degraded worse and worse and worse every time because you make a copy of copy, and that's how I got the new flag of Minnesota. Now, in terms of the demographic shifts, and what is, why are we seeing so many of this? Well, look in Minneapolis, total population about 425,000, and let me see here, Minneapolis, where did it go? Volume population, it's been 63,000 and growing. Oh, and U.S. Census, 86,000, I think, is the top metric they've heard or seen thus far. And again, this is just me asking Grok for the AI image, but again, that's one of the reasons he's becoming more and more popular. I mean, one of the reasons Zoran be taken away in New York City, you look at who is supporting him. The biggest percentage of immigrants are for him. And again, so they're playing to their new base, and it'll be interesting to see how this spreads across the United States. What is going to be the result? Will they be primary? I'm pretty skeptical. Great things will happen soon, but let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so click that button. Greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, and comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback. Let me know how to make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone, everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.